What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I do want to give my post-game thoughts for today's loss against the Carolina Panthers. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content. Hit that like button for your boy. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for your continued support, continuing to share out my content on all the social media platforms. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at JewTalkSports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ JewTalkSports. And if you'd like to be a part of my JewTalkSports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to give my post-game thoughts on today's loss against the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers did win this game by a score of 9-7. The Falcons now sit at 6-8 on the season, and this was a crushing blow to our playoff hopes of possibly winning this division. The Falcons are not quite out of the playoff picture, but it's going to be really tough at this point for our Atlanta Falcons to get into the playoffs. But with that being said, I want to give my thoughts on today's game. And I've been stating this all season long. And the biggest thing that's stood out this season for this Atlanta Falcons team has been missed opportunities. In this game, I always talk about there's 2 to 3 to 4 plays in a game that'll change the game, where you'll win or lose a game. And it was a bunch of crucial plays in this game, 2 to 3 plays that I feel like changed the trajectory of this game. If you remember in the first half, I believe it was in the first or second quarter, the Falcons drive down the field. The score is 0-0. It's 4th and 3 or 4th and 4. And Arthur Smith, instead of kicking the field goal, he decides to go for it. Bijan Robinson gets stuffed for like a 1 or 2 yard gain, and the Panthers get off the field. In this game, with the Panthers winning this game by 2 points, that field goal made the difference in this game. And I've been stating all season long that this coaching staff doesn't understand time and possession. This coaching staff hasn't done a good job this season of understanding when to be aggressive and when to just basically punt the football, kick the field goal. They don't understand when they should just, basically play conservative. In this game, they were very aggressive at times when we didn't need to be aggressive. The second play in this game that I feel like changed the game has been the turnovers. We've had this all season long. Bijan Robinson fumbles the ball in Carolina territory. That cannot happen in a close game when you're in a nip and tuck game. If you also look in this game, the third play in this game, Desmond Ridder throws the interception basically in the red zone late in the game before the Panthers are able to march down for a game-winning field goal. You're in field goal range in that particular moment when Desmond Ridder throws that pick. Personally, if I'm Arthur Smith and we're in a game where it's raining bad outside, it's windy, it's cold, why not give the ball to Tyler Algier, Cordell Patterson, Bijan Robinson, allow those guys to get a couple yards and just kick the field goal with Younghoe Koo. Take as much time off the clock as you can. Kick the field goal. If you kick the field goal at that point in the game, you're up at that point. I believe the score at that point would have been 10-6, if I'm not mistaken. That would have put us up by 4 points, making the Carolina Panthers be down by a touchdown. They wouldn't have been able to go down and kick a field goal to tie the game. So at that point, you take the pressure off of your young quarterback. And this is what I talked about in my last video I just did yesterday, where I talked about Desmond Ridder, them not putting him in position to succeed. I understand they want to trust in their quarterback. They want to put the ball in Desmond Ridder's hand to win because they've seen him do that all season. But I feel like in that particular moment, I know hindsight is, 20/20, as they always say. And now that we know that Desmond Ridder threw that pick, that now we want to take the ball out of his hands in that situation. But personally, because the Carolina Panthers hadn't been driving the ball, they hadn't scored a touchdown all game long, I'd rather force their team to have to march 75 to 80 yards down the field than try to go for a touchdown in that moment, go for the kill shot, and then you end up with the results that you ended up with. So with that being said, the next thing that actually stood out to me in this game is we just haven't capitalized. As I talked about the missed opportunities, we've seen the defense. This is the second week in a row that the defense allows, in the final drive, allows a team to drive down into scoring position. The defense has been shorthanded. We have been really banged up. Guys like David Onyemata didn't play in this game, and it showed reared its ugly head again. Grady Jarrett is out for the season. And you guys know I did a video earlier, a couple weeks ago, after David Onyemata first got injured, and I talked about him being the key to the Atlanta Falcons having success down the stretch. And he's been banged up these last couple games. He's missed a couple games through this stretch. And I told you guys, David Onyemata would be one of those guys that was the key to this Atlanta Falcons defense, because he's the anchor to this defense as far as stopping the run. We seen Chuba Hubbard run the ball really well in this game. We seen last week the kid White from the Buccaneers run the ball really well after Contavious Street got injured, after David Onyemata was held out of the game due to injury. And it reared its ugly head again in today's game, that we haven't really been able to control the line of scrimmage the way that we have in former weeks when we had David Onyemata healthy. We had Contavious Street healthy. We had early in the season Grady Jarrett healthy. This is now it's starting to rear its ugly head as far as having that depth up front. Lakel London, shouts out to Lakel London. If we won this game, and even with us losing this game, to me on defense, he was the player of the game, because I seen him make numerous plays in the backfield today. Big number 72, shouts out to Lakel London, who they pulled up from the practice squad. He had been banged up a little bit earlier this season, and they elevated him for this game, and he really showed that he's a player the Falcons should keep around for years to come, because he did play a really good game. The defensive line guys did step up in this game. You seen Zach Harrison come away with his first sack in the game. You did see Calais Campbell come away with a sack in this game, but we were missing guys like Bud Dupree, which it reared its ugly head in this game, and we weren't really able to stop the run consistently in this game. But the defense still was bend, don't break, and that was a positive out of this game. But when we needed them at the end to come up with that key stop, that's what really reared its ugly head, where we weren't able to keep the Carolina Panthers out of field goal range. So, like I said, it's been missed opportunities all season long, and this is the second season in a row that we've been stating that missed opportunities is the reason that the Falcons are losing these games. Guys are not executing. It all don't fall on the head coach, but I really feel like in this game, the depth and on the trenches, as far as on the offensive line and the defensive line, reared its ugly head. But I really feel like the biggest problem for our Atlanta Falcons is the Falcons. A lot of these teams are not really beating the Falcons. The Falcons are beating themselves in these games with fumbles, with interceptions in critical moments. And like I said, I'm not going to make any excuse for Desmond Ridder. I'm not going to make any excuses for Arthur Smith or anybody on this roster at this point. You got to finish out games and close out games if you want to be a playoff team or you want to be a good team. And I talked about that in my keys to victory, that you have to beat teams you're supposed to beat. And there's no way that you should come into a game where it's a 1-12 Carolina team that beats you in this game. And this game shouldn't have been as close as it was. But because it was a close game, I told you guys, fluky things happen. This is why I don't like games to come down to the last drive. When you have games that come down to the last drive, anything is possible. And you heard Jesse Bates talk about this last week, where he basically stated, when you let games come down to the last play of the game, the last drive of the game, at that point, your details, it's critical that you play error free. Like, you can't make any mistake when the game is down to the last drive. We seen last week Richie Grant get beat with the tight end for the Buccaneers. Otten came away with a key catch. You seen in this game, guys missing assignments late in the game. Trimble for the Carolina Panthers caught a key pass down the field where it looked like it was blown coverage. We've seen this all season long, that in on critical plays, the other team is making the play to beat us, or we're making critical mistakes. We're fumbling the ball. Today it was Desmond Ridder throwing an interception, in the red zone, when you're inside of your red zone, could easily put the game away, and you allow the other team to come away with an interception. And then the compile on top of that, the defense allows them to march 70, 80 yards down the field, where they're able to go in to get the game-winning field goal. So with that being said, it's been the whole team has not capitalized on, making key mistakes in critical moments. But I put a lot of it, like I said, on the head coach, Arthur Smith. To me, they have poor as far as the clock management and understanding rhythm, understanding time of possession. To me, the Falcons haven't done a good job of putting guys in positions to succeed this season. That has been the biggest mistake I've seen this Atlanta Falcons team make all season long. Is we're making critical mistakes at critical times, and we're beating ourselves in a lot of these games. I want to give Carolina credit because the guy still had to come up with the interception. Xavier Woods came up with a big interception in the red zone. But guys like Bijan Robinson fumbling the ball, Desmond Ridder fumbling and throwing interceptions, this have been back-breaking mistakes all season long. So it hasn't just been Arthur Smith, but it's been this coaching staff and it's been the young players making critical mistakes at critical times. But with that being said, this been your boy Jew. You guys give me your thoughts on today's game, the loss to the Carolina Panthers. As I mentioned, the only way that we're going to get this fixed, guys are going to have to step up, point blank in the period. Guys are going to have to stop making mistakes. They're going to have to come out and execute. Arthur Smith and this coaching staff is going to have to figure things out late in games. And we're going to have to stop letting all of these games come down to one possession. Like I stated, when it comes down to one possession, that means you have to play perfect football when it comes down to a last drive. And as Jesse Bates stated, you can't make any mistakes when it's coming down to the last play of the game or the last drive of the game when a team is trying to go down and score and take the lead. But with that being said, this has been your boy Jew. I have a lot more content coming for you guys. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.